Welcome to this week's Jackson County Board of Commissioners meeting. This meeting is held in the Jackson County Courthouse Auditorium at 10 South Oakdale in Medford. This meeting is held every Wednesday morning at 9:30 as long as a quorum of 2 commissioners is available to conduct the business of Jackson County. Your Jackson County Commissioners broadcast this meeting over Rogue Valley Television, and it's available for live streaming and review at jacksoncountyor.gov. Under the Government tab, under Recorded Meetings, click on RVTV Live Streaming. The types of business that occur at this meeting include public hearings, official voting on actions by the Board of Commissioners, presentations by departments of the county, and recognition of service that makes our county great. Agendas of the meetings are posted on the Commissioners' Bulletin Board and released on the county website and through local media in the time required for public notice. Many of the conclusions on the business presented to the Board of Commissioners have been discussed in detail and prepared by the Administration Office and staff prior to consideration at this meeting and the official vote. These prior discussions also have been properly noticed and the work done in a transparent manner. We encourage you to come and experience the process by attending any of these meetings or watch online at jacksoncountyor.gov. And now, your Jackson County Commissioners, Dave Dodderer, Colleen Roberts, and Rick Dyer, working for you.
Well, it's 9:30, and I'll call to order the Board of Commissioners regular meeting for December 27th, 2023. We're in the Courthouse Auditorium and also on audio-video conference, and we'll begin with the Pledge of Allegiance. And then we'll begin with the request for and discussion of non-agenda items, a 5-minute limit pursuant to the codified ordinances of Jackson County, Section 213.06. Members of the public may address any item not on the agenda. However, pursuant to RS 192.640, the Board of Commissioners is prohibited from discussing a principal subject that is not on the agenda. Therefore, the Board of Commissioners will listen to your concerns and may consider the matter you raise by asking staff to follow up on any questions or by placing the matter on the agenda at a future meeting to discuss later. So I don't know, there's nobody in the auditorium and nobody signed up. Is there anybody online that would wish to speak?
Madam Chair, at this time, no one has their Zoom hand raised to speak.
Okay, we will go ahead and move on then to the consent calendar. We have minutes of meetings from the Board of Commissioners work session, December 5th, 2023, the Board of Commissioners regular meeting, December 6th, 2023, the Board of Commissioners staff meeting for December 7th, 2023, and we have an order appointing James Cheney as County Hearings Officer, and that's order number 278-23.
And I'll move approval of the consent calendar as read.
I'll second.
Commissioner Dyer?
Yes.
Commissioner Roberts?
Yes. And we do have a public hearing today. It's the second reading and a public hearing of an ordinance amending Chapter 246, Officers and Employees Generally of the Codified Ordinances of Jackson County, Oregon. It's order number 2023-7. Mr. Jordan?
Madam Chair, members of the board, thank you. As you're aware, back on June 11th of 2021, Governor Brown signed Oregon House Bill 2168 that amended the provisions for Oregon Revised Statute 187.010 to add June 19th, known as Juneteenth, to the list of legal holidays in the state of Oregon. On June 17th of 2021, President Joe Biden signed Senate 475 and the 117th Congress adopting Public Law 117-17 for the purpose of amending the United States Code to add June 19th, known as Juneteenth, to the list of legal public holidays for employees of the United States. On May 4th of 2022, the Board of Commissioners ordered Juneteenth to be added as an official holiday for Jackson County employees. In bargaining negotiations between the Jackson County Sheriff's Employees Association and Jackson County, both parties agreed to add an additional floating holiday for those employees represented by JCSCA in the recognition of Juneteenth. Previously, Both JCSA EA represented employees of the Sheriff's Office and management employees were credited with 12 floating holidays each fiscal year. Now, JCSA represented employees will be credited 13 floating holidays each fiscal year. This ordinance would codify the 13th floating holiday for the Sheriff's Office management employees to mirror the floating holidays credited to the JCSEA employees. Adoption of the ordinance will add an additional holiday for the Sheriff's Office management employees, which will add an additional 8 hours of annual floating holiday time to the employee's annual accrual. In accordance with County Policy 5-46A, which is leaves, any remaining floating holiday pay at the end of the fiscal year shall be paid at the employee's regular straight time rate in effect on that date. As such, this will add 8 hours of pay at the end of the fiscal year for employees who do not use that floating holiday within the fiscal year. Additionally, the additional floating holiday pay will be eligible for vacation accrual and buyout in accordance with Policy 5-46A. It's recommended that the second reading and public hearing of this ordinance be held, and following the public hearing, should the Board of Commissioners concur with the amendment to codified ordinances, adoption of the ordinance 2023-7 will implement that action, and the ordinance will become effective February 26 of 2024. I know that was a long-winded explanation. Just to shortly summarize this, the board previously approved for all other employees besides JCSEA or the Sheriff's Office management employees the additional holiday of Juneteenth. Through bargaining, the sheriff's employees as well as the management, along with this ordinance change, will be added to receive the equivalent of that holiday through an additional floating holiday credit of 8 hours per fiscal year.
Thank you. And so before we open the public hearing, we do need the rules read, if we could, from County Council.
Thank you, Madam Chair. The rules for the conduct of public hearings are as follows. Only the chairperson or a member of the Board of County Commissioners may question a speaker. There will be no interruption of a speaker from the audience and no debates on the floor. Applause is not permitted. The speaker may criticize a proposal, the board, or an agency of the county, but the speaker should not argue with another speaker directly. Any speaker may present an opposite view, but not in personal terms. Any person wishing to speak shall raise his or her hand and be recognized by the chairperson conducting the hearing. After being recognized, the speaker shall state his or her name and address before proceeding with his or her statement. And finally, the chair may limit the duration of any presentation to the time necessary to cover factual information. Repetition by a speaker shall be avoided. Thank you, Madam Chair.
Thank you very much. And with that, we will open the public hearing. That was our due diligence. Nobody is here. And is there anybody online?
Madam Chair, there's no one with their hand raised online.
Okay. And so we open the public hearing. We will close the public hearing and open for a motion and our deliberation.
I will move approval of ordinance number 2023-7.
And I will second.
And I really don't have a whole lot to say. It's just adding it to the additional employees that weren't added originally.
And it does formalize the deliberation and the action that has been done with the union.
Commissioner Dyer?
Yes.
Commissioner Roberts?
Yes. Okay, so we'll move on to our deliberation and discussion items. We have an order authorizing a criminal justice information services user agreement with the State of Oregon Department of State Police, and that's order number 279-23. Mr. Jordan.
Madam Chair, members of the board, in this case, the State of Oregon Department of State Police has what's called a law enforcement data system, often referred to as LEDS. It's a web-based database that houses law enforcement records for individuals, including information that is not limited to warrants, protection orders, criminal histories, and other investigation files. Every adult on supervision through community justice has a LEDS page that displays who the supervising parole and probation officer is. That allows for efficient interdepartmental communication whenever a law enforcement officer comes in contact with an adult on supervision. Continued access to LEDS by Jackson County Community Justice Department does allow for more efficient communication with other law enforcement agencies, and having access to the adult on supervision's criminal history allows for more informed decision-making by the parole and probation officer. Term of the agreements upon execution until terminated is provided for in the agreement. There's no direct financial impact. There's no cost to us to use the system. We just have to have an agreement in place, and I do recommend your approval.
I'll move approval of order number 279-23.
And I'll second.
Commissioner Dyer?
Yes.
Commissioner Roberts?
Yes. We have order authorizing a management agreement with Medford Drag Strip Incorporated. It's order number 280-23. Mr. Jordan?
Yeah, Madam Chair, in this case, Jackson County, as you know, is the owner of real properties known as the Jackson County Sports Park. Medford Drag Strip Incorporated currently utilizes a portion of the park for the purpose of operating a drag racing events and other controlled events. This agreement will continue to give Medford Drag Strip Incorporated the right to promote, manage, operate, and maintain drag racing events at the park. Our Jackson County Roads and Parks Department does believe Medford Drag Strip Incorporated to be a qualified operator who can provide the best possible service to Jackson County residents. The term of the agreements upon execution through December 31st, unless it's terminated under provisions in the agreement. It's a annual lease revenue of $1 to the Roads and Parks Department, but it includes payment of all real and personal property taxes assessed on the drag strip facility, also as well as certain utilities. Also, Medford Drag Strip Incorporated agrees to complete a minimum of $350,000 of capital improvements to the drag racing facility during the term of the agreement. I will tell the board that typically I don't like to just have an open amount for a long-term contract. So in this case, basically 10 years to spend $350,000, because we can have a vendor that goes through 9 years and makes no investment and then opts out of the contract without making the investment. In this case, this is a renewal of an existing lease where this person put about $200,000 in the first 2 years of the current lease to make improvements that were done at the concrete launch pad for the drag strip. And they'd like to make improvements to the actual drag strip itself and the returning roads, which is asphalt, as you know, very expensive. And so we wanted to leave the contract more open so that they could build enough revenue over the term of the contract to actually make those improvements. So there is a bit of trust here. Also let you know this was our only bidder for the lease of the drag strip, and there's a quaint small group of people who rely heavily on this operator to be able to have this service in our county, and I do recommend your approval.
All right. Well, I will move approval of order number 280-23.
I second that.
Commissioner Dyer?
Yes.
Commissioner Roberts?
Yes. And last item is an order authorizing the chair of the Jackson County Board of Commissioners to execute 2 quitclaim and release deeds for 2 strips of land on properties commonly known as Township 37 South, Range 2 West of the Willamette Meridian, Section 01D, tax lots 300 and 400 with Pape Properties Incorporated, and it's order number 281-23. Mr. Jordan.
Yeah, Madam Chair, members of the board, this hopefully will complete a project that's been before you on a couple of other occasions. As you'll recall, recently Schultz Road went through the legalization process to correct a discrepancy in the legal description of the road, the actual location of the road, and the subsequent surveys. This did correct that process that you did to do that, corrected the discrepancy, but it left some unusable strips of land for roadway purposes between the south right-of-way of Schultz Road and the north property line of the parcels of the properties commonly known as Township 37 South, Range 2 West of the Willamette Meridian, Section 01D, tax lots 300 and 400. These are 2 quitclaim deeds and release deeds that will transfer that unusable strip of land to the adjacent property owners, which is Pape Properties Incorporated. The terms of the quitclaim and release deeds are upon execution and are permanent. There's no direct financial impact to the county, and I do recommend your approval.
Great. Thank you.
I will move approval of order number 281-23.
A second.
Commissioner Dyer?
Yes.
Commissioner Roberts?
Yes, thank you. And before we adjourn, I just say this is our final regular meeting of 2023, and we wish you all a happy new year. Our next meeting next week will be the first meeting of 2024. And, yep, we'll adjourn till next year, so meeting adjourned.
We hope hope that you have enjoyed this week's Jackson County Board of Commissioners meeting. If you have any questions on any part of the show, please feel free to contact your Jackson County Commissioners or staff. You can find their contact information at jacksoncountyor.gov. To review the content of this or any other recent meeting, under the Government tab, under Recorded Meetings, click on RVTV Live Streaming.